Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video with Modern Martial Fitness. Once again, I'm Tim. Today, our topic is going to be on the human limit. This is something that has been researched for a long time, from scientists to athletes, coaches, trainers, the whole gambit. And it's something that I think is very important to discuss no matter where you are on your journey in fitness. The human limit is a set of limiters that our body naturally has placed on itself in order to protect our muscles and joints and our psychological stability. And it's also something that your top tier athletes and sometimes even your beginning athletes are always looking to break through. We're always looking to push past what's known as the plateau. And a plateau is where you're slowly making progress, and then all of a sudden you kind of peak and you stagnate. It's where you're trying to lift more, you're trying to do more, but you can't seem to really get any better. You're not really getting much stronger, you're not really getting much faster, no matter what type of training methods you do, no matter what you try, whether it's changing your diet, changing your routine, you just feel like you finally hit your ceiling. And this is something that, in my personal experience, in my personal belief, is something that is much more mental than physical. Now, from a biological standpoint and a physiological standpoint, yes, our muscles do have limiters. It's a way that our body protects the muscles from overuse and strains and tears and no longer being able to function, because our muscles are what allow us to live. They allow our body to act as a vessel and to move. But when we look at certain instances where adrenaline kicks in, where, say, a mother rips a car door off its hinges to save her child, or rock climbers move these large, extraordinarily heavy stones off of them during a rock slide and save themselves from being crushed, there's a point during the fight or flight response where adrenaline is secreted. And this adrenaline and that mentality of fight or flight, life or death, we are able to access more strength than we ever thought possible in ourselves. And this is because on an average, everyday basis, we are unable to utilize every single muscle fiber within a muscle group. And this is the way that our body ensures that even if we damage some muscle fibers, we are still going to be able to move to some extent. We're still going to be able to live, to function. And the limiters are there to ensure that. However, it is my belief that we can begin to take control of ourselves, take control of our bodies. And it's just by a simple phrase within our own head that we can say to ourselves, a little bit more. Once we have a base knowledge of how the body functions and we understand that every muscle group has muscle fibers, then consciously we can begin reminding ourselves of, a little bit more to this muscle group as we're, say, walking. We can think to ourselves, put a little bit extra effort into the quads, focus a little bit more on the calf muscle in order to propel ourselves forward via the ankle and that extensor motion. These little things eventually will help develop neurological synapses, or a connection between the brain and the muscle, that will allow us to access a little bit more of that muscle. We start to take control of our body in a way that we might not have really had before. And this is something that I like to really look at as taking control of our subconscious. It's the same thing when you focus on breathing. Breathing is an autonomic function, or for those who don't, understand some of the terminology, it's something that occurs without any conscious thought. We breathe, and our breathing will grow heavier or more shallow based on the workload that we're doing. We don't think about it. But when we do, we start consciously recognizing all the different muscles that are taking place, all the different movements in our body that are occurring. So if we can recognize those things and we can start feeling, something as simple as breathing and the different intricate muscles and movements that are taking place, then we can apply that to all facets of our life, all movement. And by being aware of all those tiny little movements, all those tiny little things, then we can begin to control those tiny changes. The same way a violin player can hear just a slight pitch difference when they're playing, and they can make such a finite adjustment to get themselves back on pitch. It's something that will allow us to start taking those limits, taking those limiters, and pushing past them just a little bit by taking control of our muscles and of our body in a more finite way. And because we're able to do this, then we're able to access more of that muscle without having to put ourselves in life-threatening danger, where all of a sudden we're forced to use the entirety of our muscle, every single muscle fiber, to survive, to maintain life. And by doing that, we're also strengthening that max usage should, God forbid, that danger ever actually arise. So by pushing past those limiters, we're breaking our plateaus, so we no longer have a plateau. Our progression can slow. It may be a very slight slope that we're, growing on, but we never truly stagnate. Stagnation is one of the worst feelings for any athlete, or, really anybody that's looking to make progress with whatever their craft may be. And once we can get past that and start reminding ourselves, just a little bit more, utilize just a little bit more of this, or, let's put a little bit more effort just here or there, then we take back control of our bodies. We take control of ourselves on a conscious level. And from there, we can really start pursuing and learning about ourselves and learning about our bodies and who we are, and growing in a way that allows us to use our bodies and express ourselves in the most efficient way possible, to always be promoting some form of growth within ourselves, both mentally and physically. And this is something I think we should all be striving for, and we should all be looking to achieve, is just a little bit more. We can always give just a little bit more. Even when we think we're capped out, even when we feel like we've reached that ceiling, a little bit more. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little talk. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to hear more, go ahead and punch the subscribe button. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Any questions you guys might have, go ahead and shout them out to me. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day, everyone.